He once called for Israel's destruction. Israel apparently had other plans for him. Cultivate him as Mossad's biggest asset. Mossad spent years making him the lead planner for Iran after regime change and met him secretly in Budapest. Iran's Revolutionary Guards have now placed him under house arrest. The man who wanted to destroy Israel has been working for it. As Israel and Iran edge towards open conflict, one of Tehran's most controversial former presidents quietly disappeared. According to the New York Times, which cited senior Iranian officials, former Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad is reportedly under house arrest by the intelligence arm of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Reports claim Mahmoud Ahmadinejad had allegedly become one of Mossad's most valuable assets in a covert plot to reshape Iran's future. The reports claim Iranian authorities uncovered a significant portion of his alleged contacts with Israeli intelligence, transforming one of Iran's most hard-line former leaders into the center of an extraordinary espionage controversy. According to the New York Times and Haaretz,
Israel spent years attempting to cultivate Ahmadinejad as an intelligence asset and even considered him as a potential leader of Iran should the current regime collapse.
The reports claim Mossad's interest grew after Ahmadinejad's political fortunes changed dramatically. One of Iran's most powerful figures once, he was repeatedly barred from returning to the presidency after leaving office in 2013. According to former associates quoted in the reports, those repeated disqualifications convinced him that he would never regain power under Iran's existing political system. Former advisor Abdolreza Davari reportedly said Ahmadinejad was motivated not by money, but by ambition.
He has money. He has a wide economic network. He would do it for power. He wants to be at the helm of power. He had stated in the past that if he returned to power, he would normalize relations with Israel through the Abraham Accords.
The reports also suggest that Mossad closely monitored this political transformation. Citing more than 30 political, defense, diplomatic, and foreign sources, Haaretz on July 13th reported, Mossad recruited former Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad and chose him to lead Iran after a planned operation to overthrow the Islamic Republic. The relationship began taking shape in 2022 after the Mossad gathered intelligence indicating shifts in Ahmadinejad's views, the report said. Former Mossad director David Barnea reportedly played a direct role in the operation. Former American officials cited by the New York Times said,
Mossad head David Barnea personally traveled to Budapest in order to meet with Ahmadinejad.
The reports also claim Israeli intelligence maintained further contacts through Ahmadinejad's spokesman, while by early 2026, he had become one of Mossad's most significant assets in a wider regime change strategy. He was chosen to take power after Operation Puss in Boots, which was intended to overthrow Iran's government, end its pursuit of nuclear weapons, and install a new leadership. According to the report, the wider plan included influence operations inside Iran, arming and training Kurdish forces in Iraq, mobilizing minorities, recruiting collaborators, and creating a land corridor for militia movements. Israel also sought to draw Azerbaijan into the war. However, the plan collapsed before Kurdish forces fired a single shot, the report said. Mahmoud Ahmadinejad served as Iran's president from 2005 to 2013. During his presidency, he became internationally known for denying the Holocaust, calling for Israel's destruction, and defending Iran's nuclear program. Domestically, his disputed re-election in 2009 triggered nationwide protests, while his relationship with Iran's leadership steadily deteriorated after leaving office. Ahmadinejad's office has dismissed the allegations as fiction, while Mossad has declined to comment. According to the reports, Iranian authorities have now placed the former president under house arrest as investigations continue. Whether the allegations ultimately prove true or not, the claims have opened an extraordinary new chapter in one of the Middle East's most bitter rivalries, where espionage, political ambition, and regime survival appear to have collided behind closed doors. When Donald Trump said days into the war that it would be best if someone from within Iran took over, few took it as anything more than offhand musing. It was not. The New York Times has revealed that the United States and Israel had already chosen someone. Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, the former Iranian president, who once called for Israel to be wiped off the map. According to US officials briefed on the matter, an Israeli airstrike on February 28th targeted not Ahmadinejad himself, but the Revolutionary Guard members holding him under house arrest at his home in eastern Tehran. The strike was a jailbreak. The guards were killed. Ahmadinejad survived, but wounded and shaken, he walked away from the plan. Ahmadinejad has not been seen in public since. The blueprint, developed by Israel and later joined by US intelligence, envisioned Ahmadinejad stepping into power once the government in Tehran collapsed under airstrikes, Kurdish ground pressure and infrastructure destruction. Washington saw him the way it saw Delcy Rodriguez in Venezuela, someone from the old order willing to work with the new one.
Trump and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel went into the war not only misjudging how quickly they could achieve their objectives, but also gambling to some degree on a risky plan for leadership change in Iran that even some of Trump's aides found implausible.
That Ahmadinejad was the chosen candidate raised eyebrows even inside the Trump administration. The infamous Iranian leader had denied the Holocaust, declared there were no gay people in Iran, and addressed a conference titled "A World Without Zionism." Some American officials found the plan implausible from the start. Ahmadinejad's transformation into a regime change candidate had been years in the making. Barred from 3 presidential elections, his aides arrested and his movements restricted to his Narmak neighborhood. Ahmadinejad had spent years publicly feuding with Tehran's leadership. Trips to Hungary and Guatemala, both countries with close Israeli ties, drew scrutiny. His former chief of staff was questioned in court over alleged links to British and Israeli intelligence. When the war began, his silence was noted.
Other than the air campaign and the killing of the supreme leader, little of the plan played out as the Israelis had hoped, and much of it appears in retrospect to have profoundly misjudged Iran's resilience.
The plan, as it turns out, failed miserably. Both Washington and Tel Aviv have made no public mentions of Ahmadinejad, and the man Bibi and Trump had quietly picked to lead one of the most consequential nations in the Middle East remains missing.